Hi everyone, I'm Lara. I'm going into my fourth year at Exeter after having completed a year in industry at Johnson & Johnson, and I study business and management with industrial experience. I'm from London and I studied biology, dance, sociology and politics at A-level, which is an eclectic mix, I know. So why Exeter? Of course, league tables can play a large role when deciding which universities to apply to, and Exeter consistently performs well, but it also met my criteria of a campus university outside of London. I had to commute every day to get to school, so I didn't want to have to do the same at university. Exeter was actually the last university which I went to visit, and I immediately knew that it was one of the tops of my list. The campus is gorgeous with modern architecture and so much greenery, which just makes it a really nice place to be, which is really important when you're going to be spending so much of your time there. It's also a relatively small university, which means it has a lovely atmosphere and it feels like a community. I can't go on campus without seeing someone I know, which I love because it's always nice to see a familiar face. Also, the facilities at Exeter, such as the sports park and the guild, are great. I can easily spend the whole day there, as there are so many places to eat, including a small supermarket type shop, as well as a number of different study areas on campus. Finally, the campus is close to the city centre, which has everything you need really, decent shopping, a number of different supermarkets and things to do in your spare time, such as going to the cinema, bowling, pubs and clubs, and everything's in walking distance, which is perfect. So why business and management? Like I said, I had a real mix of subjects at A-level, but I've been able to find aspects of all of these subjects and use the broad knowledge that I have in my business and management degree. For example, statistical tests which I learnt in biology are also applicable to business statistics, and theories which I learnt in sociology are mirrored in behavioural economics. Business and management really is a multidisciplinary subject which I believe will equip me well when going into the world of work. A huge bonus of the business and management degree at Exeter specifically is that the course is so flexible. You have a certain number of optional modules each year, which allows you to tailor your degree to your interests. There is such a broad module choice spanning from economics, finance, marketing, management, leadership, and they're always adding more courses. This really allows your degree to be relevant and tailored to you. Not only that, but you can also play to your strengths in terms of module assessments. I personally prefer coursework, so I've chosen all coursework modules for my fourth year, and I only have 2 exam modules, and so that works really well for me, but if something works better for someone else, then they can choose accordingly. You can also choose modules outside of the business school in other colleges. Languages are a common choice, and I myself picked German for first year and second year, which means that my degree title will be Business and Management with Industrial Experience with Proficiency in German, which is quite the mouthful. But there are also other colleges which you can choose from, again allowing you to have a real breadth of knowledge and further explore your interests outside of the business school. You can also make use of the Careers Zone, which is an amazing service offered to all students, but we're extremely lucky to have one specifically for business school students. Here you can attend workshops and have one-to-one meetings with a careers advisor who can help you with applications, check your CV, do mock assessment centres and so much more. It's an amazing resource which we get to take advantage of. So what does a typical week look like for me? I have 4 modules a term, so a 2-hour lecture and a 1-hour seminar per module per week. A seminar is more of a classroom setting similar to school, with about 20 people per class, and you discuss what you've learnt in the lecture in a bit more depth. Not every lecture has a seminar, but it just depends on what the module leader deems appropriate. This leaves a lot of spare time for independent study, and I try to get my work done during the week so that my weekends are truly my own. I usually work on campus, either in the library or in one of the study areas, and work around whatever lectures or activities I have on campus. For example, my part-time job as a student ambassador, which is only a couple of hours a week, and I work that around my lectures as well. I'm also a member of the University of Exeter Cheerleading and Gymnastics Club, so that plays a large role in what I do in my spare time, as I have training several times a week and social events with the team as well. I'd say that I have a really good balance of work and play. So why do a year in industry? I'm a huge advocate of adding an extra year to your degree, whether that be with industrial experience or study abroad. At the end of the day, there are a lot of people with very good degrees from very good universities, and adding a year on is a great way to differentiate yourself from the crowd. It's an opportunity for personal development and networking, all to make you more employable. Talking about a year in industry specifically, it gives you exposure to the real working world, and you can earn money for a year. It also puts you in good stead for applying for graduate roles at your company as well. The universities start preparing you to apply for placement roles from first year, with workshops and lectures which are aimed at putting you in the best position in order to secure a placement. This includes compulsory workshops for CVs and cover letters, as well as assessment centre prep. This was so helpful for me as it meant that I knew what I was going into when I had real assessment centres, and I knew what sort of questions I would be asked as well. I was successful in securing a placement at Johnson & Johnson and have since completed my year in industry in the brand marketing department. It was such an incredible year, and my role was extremely varied, with my main responsibilities being budget management, performance tracking and website management. These tasks hold huge responsibility and are integral to the functioning of my team. These were things which I hadn't done before, but I will definitely be taking these skills forward in my career. Some other fun things which I've done include organising consumer research in about 8 days. This was for the testing of a new product and ultimately helped guide the product development. I also helped to design the packaging, and this will be launched in stores this year, which is incredibly exciting. I learnt so much this year and have had incredible opportunities, for example, getting to shadow a number of different people in different faculties and companies. I even got to present an award at an award show, which is pretty cool. I honestly can't recommend doing a placement enough. It has made clear to me how the concepts which we've learnt in lectures are actually applied in practice, and I feel more equipped than ever to go into my final year. I have really enjoyed living in Exeter over the years. In my first year, I lived in university halls, which was such a unique and fun experience. My accommodation was on the outskirts of campus, so an easy 15-minute walk to the centre of campus. There were 6 of us, which is probably the smallest number that I've heard of, but my flat would have weekly game nights or movie nights, and it was a lot of fun. In second year, I moved into a house with 3 of my friends, about a 25-minute walk from campus and a 20-minute walk from town, and that's probably considered quite far for Exeter as everything is so close. It wasn't an issue though, as there were still lots of other students living in the same sort of area, and I'd usually end up spending all of my day on campus anyway. I secured my 4th year house at the end of second year, which is extremely early. I'd say that most people taking a year out will find their house in around October of the year that they're out. Finding a house in any year can be a bit stressful, but everyone does it and you'll get there eventually. In terms of the social life at Exeter, there's so much to do, seeing as it is a student city. There are over 200 societies, and as I mentioned, I'm a part of the cheerleading and gymnastics society, which has been a great way for me to meet people in different courses and different years. It's filled a lot of my time, as we have lots of training sessions, a weekly social, and as well as national and regional competitions. So it's been so much fun for me, and I'll actually be on the committee in my 4th year. So another opportunity to be even more involved in the club, and something else that I can put on my CV as well. I was also a member of the Exeter Student Volunteers in my first year, which meant that I had the opportunity to do a 2-week volunteering course over summer, where we got to help young carers have an activity week, and honestly it was so much fun and such a great opportunity that I'm really grateful I had. I also touched on the city of Exeter, which is always busy and is where the clubs are located, an easy walk away if that's something you're interested in. There are 3 main clubs, all of which have a different vibe, and they're uniquely Exeter, but I absolutely love it. Bearing in mind I'm used to London nightlife, and I honestly don't find it to be much different. It's a really good time. If clubbing isn't your thing, there are lots of pubs and other activities, like I mentioned, the cinema or going bowling, and also some really nice restaurants which are a great night out as well. And in the summer, the beach is only about a 30-minute train ride away and makes for a lovely day out. I've really enjoyed my time at the University of Exeter so far. Honestly, there are so many opportunities to take advantage of, whether that be academic, extracurricular, or social. I hope this has given you an insight into what it's actually like to be a student here at Exeter and helped inform you to decide whether or not it's the university for you. Bye!